Beautiful ones, welcome to Heal Your Root Chakra Part 2, because you can't build a house, without a strong foundation. Today we are going to discuss ways to strengthen our root chakra. If you have not watched Part 1 from yesterday, go do that. But today we have lots of ways and we're discuss to help your root chakra. So just a review of yesterday. The first chakra is the base of everything. I explained how it affects everything. It is your sense of safety. It's your sense of security. It is what makes you feel loved. It makes you feel loved with yourself. It's self-love, love for others, feeling loved. It is about manifestation. It is about following your bliss. It's the root. So that's why we are going to work on it. So again, roots support the plant, right? And we need roots supporting us. So we have to have a strong root system if we want to grow healthy and strong and big. And if we want to be the beautiful tree we want, whether or not we want to be a big ancient tree or not, we want to be a tree that when the winds blow, because life blows sometimes, it's not going to knock us down and destroy us. So we have to build the strong roots. So let's discuss how to strengthen the first chakra. So these are the things we're going to discuss here. First are affirmations, and another one is being grounded, because being grounded is a part of the first chakra. You're the root. Imagine your legs that have to go down to the earth. So we have to be grounded. Being and feeling supported. This is essential. We're going to talk about how to do that. And then following your bliss. Discuss that for a moment. And healing the issues of the root chakra. So, we're going to do this and we can clear the root chakra. There's different ways to clear it. We're going to do a meditation to clear it. We can spend every day clearing it, but you still have to heal the issues of the root chakra. So we're going to do these things, but it's a process. You have to clear the issues of the root chakra. You have to heal. And then we're going to talk about first chakra foods, and we're going to end with a chakra clearing and meditation. And you can do this anytime. So we start with affirmations. Now, why are affirmations important? Affirmations are a part of repetition when there's a power in repetition. I'm a poet also, so you think about the heartbeat, boom, 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 boom. It is very powerful, and when you start repeating things, you start slowly changing your old patterns. So it's important to change some of the ways we have been thinking to talk about the affirmations. A good time to do this when you're in a hypnotic state. First thing in the morning when you fall asleep, and last thing at night when you're falling asleep. That's a really powerful time because you can actually reprogram the subconscious mind at that time. But these are some that I want you to do, and I'd like you to write these down. Also, you can create your own. So when we're doing this, other ones come to you. These are ones you should do every day, many times a day, as often as you can. So write them down, keep them around. And when you do them, you have to feel them. Even if you don't feel them at first, after a while you can start feeling them. But the importance is in the feelings. So these are some of the affirmations. I am safe. You are safe. I am safe. Affirm I am safe, even if you don't feel safe. Start affirming I am safe. I am loved. So I am loved. Say, I am loved. I am lovable. I am supported. Life supports me. So root chakra is about life supporting you. So life supports me. And all is well. When you feel anxiety and you're feeling not safe, just affirm all the time. All is well. All is well. Some other good affirmations are, I love and approve of myself. I love and approve of myself. I am protected and guided. All right, we all have protection and guidance around us. So I am protected and guided. It is safe for me to make a living doing what I love. So a root chakra issue is that we're not following our bliss. And a lot of times we're not following our bliss. Well, sometimes we don't know what our bliss is, but that's part of the process. When you go through the road of healing and you heal yourself from the inside out and heal your heart and do all this internal healing, you'll discover slowly and sometimes quickly what your bliss is. But if you know what it is and you're afraid to do that thing, this is about it's being safe. to make a living doing what you love. And all is well in my world. This is Louise Hay's famous affirmation. She is a queen of affirmation. You can Google her. She's got some meditations you can listen to at night or in the morning with lots and lots of affirmations. But all is well in my world. You know, I do some of the affirmations, especially some of the self-affirmations in front of the mirror every day. And so it helps to make you feel powerful and loved even if you don't. So affirmations, daily affirmations is one way to start strengthening your root chakra. Change those beliefs. All right, second way is to ground yourself. So these are some practical ways you can ground yourself. So if you think the root chakra is the base of the spine and the legs and feet are extension of the root chakra, walking barefoot on earth helps ground you. I actually did this accidentally. I had a foot issue a few years ago, and I had the foot issue because I had some root chakra issues that I had to heal. But I did research on it, and I found out one of the best ways to heal it was to run barefoot in grass. And I like to run, so I started doing it. And now I wouldn't say I'm addicted, but it makes me feel amazing. So now my foot is healed. I walk barefoot on earth, and when I run, I usually run. I have a place I run that's in grass, and I will run barefoot in the grass. It's wonderful. When it's wet, you ground you. Sometimes it gets muddy, and you just ground yourself to the earth. So I would suggest walking barefoot on earth, and even in the home, you know, you're not on earth in your carpet or on your flooring, but even being barefoot in your home oftentimes helps with that grounding. So that's one way. So plant a garden, dig in the dirt, you know, just get into the dirt, you know, do whatever it is in the dirt, just get grounded into the earth. You know, plant a flower, plant some foods and pick it out. And don't get gloves when you're doing it. You know, I know we got our pretty nails. We can get ourselves dirty once in a while and dig in the dirt. Yoga, do yoga. Yoga is about grounding, a lot of asanas. There's a lot of asanas, a lot of yoga poses that are very grounding. So doing yoga, if you don't already do yoga, is a very wonderful way to ground yourself. And if you're doing yoga, just continue doing your yoga and do some of the grounding exercises. There's a lot of asanas that are very grounding. And you can ask your yoga instructor for those if you're taking them. Now imagine your feet extending deep into the earth. So just visualize, you know, just push your feet like right now I'm sitting. So you can be sitting at your desk if you're at work, wherever you are. Put both feet on the ground and imagine your feet extending deep into the earth. When you're walking, feel when you take a step, your feet extending deep into the earth, like you're feeling grounded, that you're feeling supported. So that is another beautiful way to feel grounded. Go for a long walk. Immerse yourself in nature. Just being in nature helps you feel grounded. And a lot of us, we get busy and we don't do that, or we just walk in the neighborhood, and that's fine. But most communities, someplace, maybe you have to drive an hour to get there, you can be immersed in nature, whether it's a lake or a forest or a desert or a mountain or an ocean, wherever. Go out and seek those places. Look up the parks in your neighborhood, like the state parks, and go there. I often drive someplace that's an hour away or even 2 hours away just to be in total, complete nature. And I'll spend 6 hours, sometimes even by myself. I have memberships to the botanical gardens in my community and to the arboretums in my community. So look up the botanical gardens and the arboretums wherever you live. Usually there's a small membership fee, but it's worth it. I get the yearly membership fee versus paying the time once, every time I go, because it's much cheaper that way. And then I am able, and it forces me because I paid for this, so I will continue going. So I usually am going to the arboretums or the botanical gardens so that I'll go there by myself. It's good to have friends with us and people you love, but there's also some beautiful grounding when you can just be by yourself alone, and nature's really high vibration and it's part of the ground, right? So it helps ground us. So that is something I highly recommend. And then dance barefoot, just in your house. Get your feet, take your shoes off and just dance. It doesn't matter if you have rhythm or not, everybody. Dancing is for the joy of it. It's not about being perfect and dancing the way society says. All of us, you see children, it doesn't matter if they have rhythm or not, they're out there doing their little thing, whether they have rhythm or not, until someone says, well, you can't dance, and then we stop, right? So, but barefoot in grass, or not bare, yeah, yes, you could do barefoot in grass dancing, or just in your living room or in your bedroom. Dance barefoot, try that. And then sleep. Sleep is also important for grounding, and a lot of times we get busy and we're out and about and we don't sleep. Sleep's important. Sleep helps us rejuvenate and helps us ground. All right. So another important way to feel supported, another important way to heal your root chakra is to feel supported. Support is central to the root chakra, the first chakra. So it's important to build a strong support network, all right? Now, a lot of us come from dysfunctional families. Some of us come from just downright abusive families, or we might come from families that, maybe are healthy in lots of ways, but we feel some way we don't belong. And sometimes we're born into families that are karmic relationships, and they're not soul tribes, so we don't really feel connected. And, again, sometimes some of us come from toxic relationships or dysfunctional families. So what's important is to heal yourself. So when you heal yourself, you are able to go in and out sometimes of the family system and help others heal. But what's important is to have a strong support network. And there may be a time in your life, depending on who your friends and your family are, where you kind of have to journey off alone for a moment and you feel alone, but it's important. And sometimes that first step, you just like you're going on a journey, you leave that journey and you go alone for a moment, but as you go along that journey, you're going to meet other people. So think of it that way. You're on this journey of building a support network. You pack your bags and you take off by yourself. That's the beginning of it, but it's not to be by yourself the entire time. The hero, whenever they go on the journey, they always acquire other friends and support networks and guides. So it's really important to build a strong support network of people who support you, who energize you. And you can feel these people because it makes you feel good around them. So that is really, really important, is to build a support network. And for a lot of us, it is finding a new support network. I know in my life, the people that are really my support system are people that have been newer in my life. As I started my spiritual journey, I raised my vibration and changed in lots of ways and transformed and started attracting my soul tribe and people that really support me. So it's important to do that, because I didn't have that for a lot of my life, most of my life, my early years. So, and the toxic relationships. And if you're like me, I was in a toxic relationship for a long time. I didn't even realize it. So just, think about what does it energize you? Does it make you feel good? For me, I was crying a lot and fighting a lot and it didn't feel good, but I just thought that was normal because that's what I'd always had. So it's important to end toxic relationships. So just take a look around at you and see who makes you feel good or not. Now, raise your vibe to attract people who support you. So you want to do things to raise your vibration, because we're vibrational beings. We have energy around us, right? And a lot of times we're vibrating low. So it's important to raise your vibration. I talked about being in nature. Nature is a beautiful way to raise your vibration. I talk more detail. I actually have modules about this in my Heal Your Heart program. I talk really in detail about vibrations and different ways to raise your vibration, but that is really important, to raise your vibration. Now, accessing divine support. Okay, so this is important, especially if you don't feel like you have family and friends supporting you. And even if you do, you always want to access divine support. So all of us have some spiritual guidance. I don't know particularly, I believe I've heard all of us have at least one. Some of us have a team around us. So there is divine support around us. Besides, there's also the higher power, the energy that we call God or universe or love, whatever your language is for God and for the universe and for that divine support. There is that universal power. But besides that, there's also a team of, whether it's archangels, whatever. A lot of times we describe that differently according to our religious and spiritual beliefs. But you want to have divine support. It's important to access that. And remember, you're always loved and supported. So feeling love, that sense of feeling love, so working on your self-love and supporting yourself is really, really, really important. So love yourself and practice self-care and the art of receiving. So loving yourself, again, is important, but practicing self-care. So if you're not practicing self-care, you're not really loving yourself. And for a long time in my life, I was giving and giving and giving and giving to people, but I wasn't giving to myself. And a lot of times we do that. For me, I realized that deep down, I didn't feel like I was worthy of receiving. So I didn't receive. So I just gave and gave, and I had a hard time receiving. I received once in a while, but it was off balance, and sometimes I would receive from people that later would get mad at me because I gave you this and you're not reciprocating, and it was always thrown back in my face. So I didn't feel, so it wasn't really truly receiving, because when you really receive from people, they'll give to you and they're not coming back at you saying, well, I did this and you didn't do this to me. It's not this thing. And sometimes, you give and give to other people and it comes back from somebody else. It kind of, it flows that way, but you have to allow that. And the other one is to heal your subconscious patterns. So what are subconscious patterns? Your patterns are, we are born, our first 8 years of our life, we are downloading information. And that downloading information gets recorded, we're almost like recorders. And we're in this hypnosis state when we're young. And all this stuff gets recorded and it stays with us. So as we go through life, 95% of our reactions and behavior comes from our subconscious patterns. A lot of times they're not us. So anyone out there has had the same relationship, the same bad relationship over and over, or maybe they had a wonderful relationship and that one's happened, but over and over the person we love has left us. If you take a look, you'll see that there's patterns, and if you can really trace it, sometimes you'll trace it even to childhood. So that person may be leaving you because deep down you feel like you're not worthy, and the program you learned when you were a child was that you're not worthy, you're not really lovable, so people are going to not be there for you, so of course you're going to attract a relationship that keeps repeating that pattern. So those are part of your subconscious patterns, and those need to be healed. I go deeply into this on my Heal Your Heart program about healing from the inside out, because you can't heal unless you heal your subconscious patterns. So this is a picture of me. If you look closely here, you'll see that I'm holding a white feather. So this is about you are never alone. So when I do my spiritual guidance, and I also do I do angel oracle cards for others, but sometimes I pull them for myself, and I kept getting, you are guided, you have spiritual guidance, because sometimes I forget that, and that was my message, that was my spiritual guidance I kept getting over and over. And so when I was doing this photo shoot, sure enough, there's a white feather, and I kept on pulling that a white feather for me was a sign that I was being spiritually guided. So here I am, and I'm looking at my white feather, reminding myself that I'm never alone, even when I'm feeling alone, and the people that are supporting me, I don't feel supported by them, or they're not around. It doesn't matter, because I am never alone. There's always spiritual guidance around me. So this is my message to you, that you are never alone. There's always spiritual guidance around you, and you just have to access that and center yourself. I do meditation, I do sound meditation, and it's what I teach others in my programs and in my one-on-one coaching. But I do sound meditation that incorporates mantras and mudras and breath work that helps me feel grounded and feel supported and access that. But whatever you choose to do, whatever form of meditation, whatever spiritual practice, it's important to remember that you are never alone. All right. So another way is to follow your bliss. This is the words of the great late Joseph Campbell. He's written stuff, well, if anyone has watched Star Wars, I think a lot of us have. I love Star Wars, but Star Wars, George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, George Lucas, modeled Star Wars after following your bliss, after the work of Joseph Campbell, which is the hero's journey. So you can research information about it, but basically following your inner bliss is following your inner desires and discovering what you love to do. So all of us are born with desires and all of us are born with something we're supposed to do. And a lot of times when we're grown, we don't remember what it is, because in our childhood things are blocked. Subconscious patterns came in, family beliefs came in, societal beliefs came in. We forgot, essentially, we kind of essentially forgot who we are, and we forgot what we love to do. So for a lot of us, it's kind of uncovering and healing, and we have to heal and do all these things. So it's important. That's another reason that I have created my Heal Your Heart program, is because it's important to heal from the inside out. When you heal and you go through the whole entire process, then you are able to remember, a lot of times remember who you are and start discovering what it is. But it's important to eventually follow your bliss. It's to take that leap, take the leap to make a living doing what you love to do. So this is what I always tell people. Along life's journey, you're going to come to a great chasm. And the chasm is a great hole in the ground. You know, like think about the Grand Canyon. You know, there's a great chasm there, and there's a big hole. Jump. It is not as wide as you think. And a lot of times we don't want to jump because, you know, on the other side it's safe. And maybe we don't love it there. We really, something calls us to be here, but it's comfortable, right? We're comfortable. Maybe we're comfortable in that job that is safe, or we're comfortable in that relationship that doesn't really make us happy. We know there's something else there, but, you know, we're safe. We're safe. Our old life, or maybe, you know, we have a calling to live someplace else, but we've always lived where we're living, and it's comfortable. So we stay in our safe comfort, but our real life is here, and our instinct tells us to do it. But it's scary to jump, because if we miss, we look down the hole, we're like, oh no, I might die. So like, I don't do it. But jump. It is not as wide as you think, because at the other end is your life. So following your bliss is something that is important to your root chakra. So, you know, if you're working the job, just if you feel safe in money because you're making enough money, but you're not making money doing what you love to do, you still have root chakra issues to heal. So, human issues with the first chakra. Understand why you do not feel safe and secure. So this is essential. This is a lot of times uncovering your subconscious patterns, what needs to get changed. So you know what thoughts and subconscious patterns to change. So I want you to go through this, and I want you to write this down and think about this. So what is making you feel unsafe or insecure? So in all areas, what is making you feel unsafe or insecure in your relationships? In your world. What in your world is making you unsafe? Is that in the big world as a whole? Is it just your neighborhood world? Is it your world as far as your home? In your job, what makes you feel safe in your job? Unsafe in your job, or in your life? So I want you to write down what exactly makes you feel safe, and then why. When you discover this, then you know it's kind of like you're figuring out what needs to get healed. And that is part of the process of healing, is understanding what and why. Because a lot of times we think why, like for example, when I got done with a long relationship and then I had another heartbreak, I had to take a look, and I thought, well, okay, where's this coming from? This is not really about this. And then I traced it back to an incident in my early 20s, and then I was like, okay, but that's still not it. And then I traced it back to a pattern in my childhood, and there was the root. The childhood stuff was the root. So I had to go in and heal my stuff from the childhood and change those subconscious patterns in order to be the cycle. So a lot of times you'll go through life doing the same thing over and over and over, and you know, even it may just not feeling safe and not feeling loved over and over until we find out why and we heal it. So that's why healing is so important. So what you are aware of, you can change. So that's why we want to become aware of the things. All right, now I talk about the path to healing is the most important path. That's why we ask these questions, and we want to figure out why, because the path is the healing to healing is the most important. Now you see me here with these yellow flowers. I have yellow here because I believe that the healing journey is walking the yellow brick road. So you're walking a road, right? You're just walking your road, and you have a choice. And right now, because you're watching this, you're not watching this because it's an accident. You're watching it because you attracted this into your life, right? So here you are, and you're making a choice. Do you want to continue down the road you've been walking, when you're kind of unaware and you've got a lot of healing to do? Or do you walk the road of healing? All right? So you have this choice to make. So if you choose to walk this road of healing, I call it the yellow brick road. Now you're on the yellow brick road, you know, and it's a magical road. Follow, 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 follow the yellow brick road. That's why it's Wizard of Oz. So it's this magical road. And once you're on that road, you're on that road. And, you know, there might be obstacles. There'll be obstacles along the way, just like You know, in The Wizard of Oz, they had obstacles and they had the witches and different things, but you're always on the yellow road. You are on that, and it changes your life. It's transformative. It changes you. It completely changed my life. Most of my life, I was not very joyful. I struggled with depression. I had a series of toxic relationships. I had relationship abandonment issues. I had all kind of stuff that just didn't feel good for most of my life. And I was destined to just continue doing that until I went in and I really healed myself from the inside out. And again, for me, I used all my training as I became a non-yogi. I used my breath work and my mudras, and this is what I teach in my Heal Your Heart program, my mantras and my mudras and my breath work. I combine that with different healing modalities to help. This is what I help myself heal, and that's what I teach others, is to help them heal. Do that with my coaching or on my program. So whatever program you choose, it is important to start that, to make that road, to make that choice, to follow the healing journey and follow that yellow brick road, because it's the most important thing. Now you know how to heal the root chakra, and you want to know how to heal everything else and the rest of it. So, but I'm going to talk about a couple more things. So, first chakra foods. Another way to heal is to have first chakra foods. So, foods can ground you. So, some of the foods that are important to eat to heal the root chakra are foods from the earth. So think carrots, think beets, think potatoes, think radishes, think turnips. You know, have these root foods that nourish the root of you. And also it's really important to have organic foods, everybody. So organic foods, you're having it without the pesticides, without any of the stuff, the bad stuff. So it's important to have those first chakra foods. So, and also think red foods, think beets, red potatoes, radishes, red apples, raspberries, watermelon. A lot of times it's really good, you can roast them or cook them, but also having them raw is really important. So like you'll see a picture here, this is me having just a simple drink that it's not even juiced. I just puree it in my blender. But I have beets in here and carrots and apple in here because they're all root and red. And I just puree that up and just drink that down in the morning or the afternoon. It really energizes me, but it helps with the first chakra. It helps strengthen that first chakra. So think about eating more of those things that nourish your body. And food is life, right? Food is energy. So another thing for first chakra stuff is to avoid stimulants like caffeine and sugar. So if you imagine if you don't feel safe and you have anxiety, you're doing this thing, having caffeine and sugar to energize you is not going to help. It's going to do the opposite. So you want to replace things with things that use caffeine and sugar. For me, I do green drinks and vegetable drinks. I fill myself with nutrients, with vegetables and fruit first thing in the morning, and that gives me a ton of energy. And when I'm feeling down, I do the same thing. And then also breath work. I do breath work all the time. So when you learn different kind of breath work, which you can teach, but when you learn those things, it also, prana is breath. So that also gives you energy. So you don't need caffeine. So anyways, those are some of the ways to eat. So we're going to end with a first chakra mudra and seed mantra, a little meditation, all right? So there's a couple mudras that can help with healing. Now, one of them is if you have anxiety, I'm going to teach you one. This is an anxiety mudra. So take your hand and you take your thumb and you take your middle finger here and the top part here, right? So you just take your thumb and you hold it there, all right? That's an anxiety mudra. So that can help with anxiety. So you can do it like that. You can stand like this, or you can just kind of go like this and hold it. But anytime you're feeling anxiety, no matter where you are, you can do this to help with anxiety. So here you go. Again, middle finger, right? This is your middle. And your thumb right to the top here. And just hold that. And you can do it on both hands. All right? So that is an anxiety mudra. Now we're going to do a meditation here, and we'll do a quick one, and we're going to do it with a mudra. You can do this with Gyan mudra. This is thumb to the point your finger. You know, you'll see a lot of times the pictures of the yogis with the Gyan Mudra. You can do this. It is helpful, beneficial. It helps make you feel calm and peaceful. But the one we're going to do with ours is, put our hands together, lace, put them like this. You want to lace them this way, opposite like this. And going to be together like this. Your thumb here. So it's kind of like you're feeling safe. You know how you kind of do this? And it makes you feel safe. And then your hand is in a triangle right here. Okay? And so you can put this on your lap. I'm going to put it up high so you can see me, but you can put it on your lap if you want to. So this is the mudra we're going to do for the mantra. And the mantra is La So it's going to be, we're just going to say La and it's going to look like this. So this is the seed mantra to help with the root chakra, and you can do this anytime. Mantras and sound, and they have a whole technology of it, are very important for healing. It's primordial sound. It helps with, it accesses the throat chakra, which can heal the throat chakra. You can't heal from the lower chakras. You can only heal from the upper chakra. So it helps heal in different ways, and the sound of it helps your brain focus on the sound instead of on your thoughts. So there's lots of different ways. There's a whole science around sound meditation and mantras. But this is called a seed mantra. This is just one seed, one sound of it. So it's going to be La All right, so you can join with me. It's going to be La Now I want you to feel your root chakra. Close your eyes and just feel it, and think about the color red. Think about a color ruby red, a bright, brilliant red. And see this red, whatever color you see your root chakra at it, see it becoming bright and brilliant like a ruby. And it's out shining. And then let it expand. Let that root chakra, the color red, start expanding out to the frame of your body and out even further. Just feel the color, feel the vibrant energy of it. And as you breathe, take a deep breath in. Breathe in the energy from the divine. Let it flow through you and let it go down and fill your root chakra. Send love and light to your root chakra. Let it come from your crown chakra, from the divine, and then send love and light to your root chakra. And while you're there, affirm, I am safe. I am safe in the world. I am loved. I am lovable. All is well. All is well in my world. It is safe for me to make money. It is safe for me to do what I love in the world. I am safe. I am secure. I am strong. I have strong roots. And every day my roots and my foundation are growing stronger as I'm healing. Take a deep breath in, hold it, and exhale. Beautiful. Now that's something that you can do every day, all right? So I hope you enjoyed learning how to heal your root chakra. I do have a 7-week online program called Heal Your Heart, because I believe when you heal your heart, you heal your life. And in my Heal Your Heart program, I go through all the different healing and the different modalities I have used and incorporate these things to heal your heart. A lot of times, only about 5% of us is what they've found are actually living from the heart chakra. The heart is the power center. It is 5,000 times more powerful magnetically than the brain. It is where, it's because we're connected to the divine. It is our power center. Everything is related to the heart. And I talk about this in the program. But we can't live from the heart unless we've healed the lower chakras, the first 3 chakras. And I've taught you how to heal the first one, but you have to heal the second, third, and you have to heal all the chakras and heal the subconscious patterns and do all these things to really live from the heart. And, you know, a lot of us go through life. The program is not just for those of us that are dealing with a heartbreak that is imminent and really painful, although it is really important for that, and that's why I created it, because I've had so many broken hearts. But it is for anyone that has had broken hearts in life. I believe a lot of us walk through life with blocked, broken, or wounded hearts, and a lot of times that comes from family, and then it keeps manifesting in relationships, and we have failed relationships or relationships that are not so healthy, or we run away from relationships. We meet someone that is amazing and they run from us, or we run from them, because we have to heal and we have to become whole. So this is what my program is about, is healing your heart and healing your mind. So let me end with, you are beautiful, you are powerful, you are more powerful than you know. You are loved and you are lovable. I love you, beautiful ones. Have a beautiful day and enjoy healing that root chakra of yours.